Another Dungeons & Dragons collaboration is here. We have Elminster, the Sage of Shadowdale. Should you go after this guy? Is he worth your gold dice if you need to spend a few to get him? And I just did a video talking about how free-to-play friendly it is to get him, and I did the whole breakdown, so go check out that video. If you are going to go for him, what's he going to be good for? What are you going to use him for? Let's read over these skills really quick, and then we'll get into detail of how you should gear him out and where we're going to use him. This ultimate is pretty nice. It has a really high multiplier on enlightenment, so you can make him hit hard, but overall, long-term damage, he's not going to do a lot of damage. This is a burst damage with 5,000 enlightenment. What we want to do is get 2 scrolls into him so we have a 100% chance to apply the decrease accuracy and the decrease attack. This guy's about keeping our team alive, not about nuking. If you want to get a big nuke here and do crit rate critical damage, you can. But since he's doing most of his damage from enlightenment, your basic attack isn't going to be a lot. And that's a lot of our damage. If you look at our damage on something like the Vortex boss or anywhere else, the battle skill plus the ultimate plus the basic attack is a lot. Here, the battle skill isn't doing damage. So all we've got is this ultimate. Myself, personal opinion, I'm never going to build him to do damage. I'm going to build him in high enlightenment so that the shields here are bigger for the team and that we can do some damage, but really what I want is the decreased accuracy and the decreased attack, so I need 2 skill scrolls to make this 100% chance to apply these debuffs. This is great. This is just like Adolphus, except it's for 5 seconds every 10 seconds. Adolphus is for 10 seconds every 20 seconds. We don't get those cool heals that Adolphus does, and it's not board wide. This is my only gripe, and I'm going to show you positioning in a minute. If this was board wide, I would be so happy to have Elminster on my team. But unfortunately, it's only 2 squares away from him. So you can't kind of like hide your people so that they're not hit by a 3x3 hit. And I'm going to show you in arena, and I'm going to show you right here what I'm talking about. This passive, we get additional resistance. That's fine. We get enlightenment here. Now, there's not a lot of people that you bring onto your team that take effect of enlightenment. It's weird because the team I have here, yeah, we need enlightenment for Adolphus and we need enlightenment for Karf. So it's not bad to use this leader skill. But regardless of the leader skill, whether you use that or not, this will give us more damage to Elminster and bigger shields. I would say play Elminster with Adolphus. That way you don't have to worry about any other healing, and they are both the fire element, and the fire element doesn't have heroes, a lot of heroes that can do decrease attack. Definitely not decrease attack with decrease accuracy, which is very strong, and then these shields with control immunity. Now this is a battle skill, so control immunity isn't always going to be ready when you're hit with some big provoke or pull in or knock up, whatever they do, stun. When you're hit with those, you're not always going to have this available, but you can lower it with skill haste, right? We can get this battle skill rotating more often with skill haste. So we're down to 9 seconds, 5 seconds of shield, 5 seconds of control immunity every 9 seconds. I think it's pretty damn sweet. Plus, we're below the 18-second threshold. So if we're fighting any bosses, we won't have to worry about lowering their ultimate gauge or putting that recharge speed penalty on them to slow them down. With the skill haste that I currently have on right now, I'll always be able to decrease attack and decrease penalty before the boss does its ultimate. At least the bosses that matter. This boss is super, super fast. We're not going to worry about it there on this boss, the Harpy boss. But all the other bosses, like Ancient Battlefield where it matters, if you're talking about going in and fighting the Phoenix, we've got time with the Phoenix. You don't have to be that fast. Ancient Battlefield, we need 18 seconds. If you want to play him in Grave of Rot, like Adolphus along with Elminster together, great combination to keep everyone alive. You're going to see Elminster is putting up the shields and control immunity on our whole entire team currently because they're all kind of next to him. But if we did this in arena, whenever there's a cross-section attack or a big attack, they're going to come over and hit our weakest guys because they can. Because we have to be so close to Elminster to be able to get those shields and control immunity. It just works out that way. And if you're not understanding what I'm saying, I'm going to show you in a minute on the grid. Because with Adolphus, it doesn't matter where you put Adolphus. He will put up shields on anybody, even if he's in the back corner. But that's not the way it works with Elminster. And if I could change anything, I'm telling you right now, just one thing on him, I would say make the battle skill cover the whole entire screen so that we can play it more effectively. But currently, I mean, getting these shields up, along with Adolphus, it's a nice move. Get the shields on. Adolphus does his ultimate. We're going to have some massive healing from Adolphus by doubling up on those shields. We're going to have good protection on our whole entire team by having shields from Adolphus and from Elminster. Or if you don't have Adolphus and you got something like Hexandra, you're playing Season 1 where fire and poison go really well together, you'll be fine. These additional shields will, of course, support your team. And again, I have to emphasize, I don't consider Elminster a DPS class. Like, I wouldn't look at him as a DPS class. I'm looking at him as total support. Give me shields, give me decrease attack, decrease accuracy, and then the control immunity is just there if I ever go up against something with control and I need that. And it's going to work out well. From season to season, it's going to work out well, especially since he's easy to get. Now, I don't necessarily need him on my account. I have almost everybody in the game, except for, a lot of legendaries. Not almost everybody in the game. I have all the epics. I have all the rares. I have a lot of legendaries. I don't necessarily know that he's going to benefit me anywhere that I go. Going up through Fae, the only place I know for sure that I would use him is in Pillar. Because I'm forced. I'm forced to use whatever fire goes with each season. I'm going to definitely use him in the Pillar because he's somebody that gives me AoE decrease attack. And we're really limited with what we've got with AoE decrease attack. Now let's go back to what I'm talking about with positioning for him so you know exactly how he works. With that battle skill, to get up the shields, we have to be within 2 squares of him. It's big, it's just not optimal for us to stay out of enemy nukes. Right now you can see that if an enemy wanted to nuke us, they could nuke 1 here, 3, and then whole row. So they could hit these 3 here, which I don't want them to hit those 3. I want them to hit these 3 if they really have to nuke me, and that's how you have to play it in Arena. Now with Adolphus, since he covers the whole entire board, we could set up something like this, to where the boss will always nuke the closest group. So the boss will nuke these 2. Even on a big diamond-shaped one, big cross-section one, it'll go 1, 3, whole row, 3, 1, and not attack anybody else. Because we can hide 2 over in the corner and 1 in the back corner. And we can do this with Adolphus because he covers the whole entire board with his shields. But with our guy here, since he only covers 2 away from him, if we set it up like this, he's only going to cover Adolphus, this tank, and himself. Which still might be enough. It's still good coverage. It's just not everyone. I want him to cover everyone, especially if I'm doing late game Fae. And I don't have really anybody else. Say my roster isn't that big. You went after him. You got him. He's been helping you out with that decrease attack, decrease accuracy, and shields and control immunity. And now you want to keep playing him. You want to use him up in those higher stages of Fae, and you want to play him in Arena. It's going to be much more difficult to cover your whole entire team then. Without your team then being nuked unless you set it up properly. And this is the way you're going to have to set it up. You're going to have him very tanky like I do now. Defense, defense, enlightenment, enlightenment. Get the skill haste in there. We get a little additional HP. We get a little additional accuracy with this set, which is great. So we can land our debuffs. Get those debuffs up so we're not taking as much damage. And then whenever they have a 3x3 hit or the cross-section hit, they're going to come and hit these 3. Somebody that's a little tanky is our healer on the side, and then our tank, and our back people will be left pretty much alone. Actually, in this setup, now that I'm looking at it right now, the whole entire board is covered by Elminster, and only these 3 will be hit because they are the closest 3. So this will work out really well, and this will be good for us to use in Fae. But in Arena, when they move forward and start doing some other craziness, it gets a little different. And Arena is bigger. The board section is wider. I'm going to jump over there right now to show you. So if we're going to play him in Arena, you need to be mindful of where you're going to put him. And I really think you're only going to play Elminster in Arena if you're just trying to block somebody from controlling you immediately and you have a way to end the fight. You see how it's wider? If I put Zarloth over here, Elminster's not going to cover him. If I put him here, he will cover. He's within 2 squares. Over here, no coverage at all. But being that we have it set up this way, once these people kind of spread out or she jumps back here, then the group of 3 that they can hit with their cross-section attack will be Elminster, Zarloth, and Karth. So they'll do a big explosion or big control and hit our back line, and we don't want that. Now, if he was able to cover the whole entire board, like Adolphus can, we could put Elminster in the corner, 2 here, and 1 over there. And they will always focus the 2 that are nearest to them, the group that's nearest. So they'll hit these 2, even if it's a 3x3 or a big cross section, they'll only hit and focus these 2 with their move. So we're much safer with this formation. But unfortunately, now Elminster is only going to cover Zarloth, and that's it. We could do it like that, and he'd cover Zarloth and our tank, but not her when she jumps out, and not him if he gets hit. That's the only thing I would change. I would really love for this to cover the whole entire board. But after doing all this, I think we can work around it. I still think he's an incredible support. And unfortunately, I don't have the brand new artifact to show you, but it's just 30 more enlightenment, 10% more shields, 30% more time on our shields. So for him, if we had his artifact with him, we'd go from 5 seconds to 6.5 seconds. If we put that artifact on Adolphus, he'd go from 10 seconds of shields to 13 seconds of shields. And they'd be a little bigger. They'd be 10% bigger because it's 25% more shields, and we'd have 30 more enlightenment. I do love that artifact. I don't think it's necessary to have that artifact if you have this one. It is definitely an upgrade. I do want to get it myself because I think it's strong with Adolphus, because Adolphus is so amazing. I don't know for my account. If I'm going to be using Elminster that much, but I will get him because fire, again, is limited with the decreased attack that we have. And in every scenario, for any kind of game mode that I play, we're always looking for somebody with decreased attack that can also do something else, benefit our team, because we need decreased attack on so many bosses, so many encounters, going up through Fae, going up through Pillars, story mode, every single boss that we fight, we've got to have that. And you want it later on in a group. So you get that additional bonus damage and you get that 15% less damage taken. You don't necessarily have to have that in the beginning. You definitely don't need it on season 1 when you're going through season 1 because you've got a whole bunch of different heroes. You're just trying to make heroes that work well together, and Elminster will work well with anybody. But on an account like mine, I don't think I'm going to be using him that often. Maybe with Adolphus. But I've got so many teams. I've got so many powerful, strong artifacts in teams. For me, I'm not going to really need to play a fire team for anything except for Pillar when it forces me to play a fire and necrosis team. Or next season when it forces me to play a fire and radiant team. I will use them then, yeah. But in radiant, I've also got Sagamir. I have Rose that does decreased attack. So I could play them in place of him. But I might want to go with the shields along with the shields from Adolphus, because then I've got a massive amount of shields. I've got all that healing going on when Adolphus heals from shields being on. So maybe I'll use them there together. But I do think he's very beneficial for anybody for any account that doesn't have a lot of options, for an account that needs that decreased attack, that needs the shields and the rest. I know there's a lot of people that are a little bit sour about this hero. They're like, oh man, I wanted somebody that can nuke everything and destroy it all. I don't think he needs to be that. I do think he's strong for what he does. Especially if he could cover the whole board and I could tuck him away in a corner, he'd be even stronger. But he's got a lot going on. We're talking about shields, control immunity, decreased attack, decreased penalty. He's going to be viable for somebody somewhere. But if you've got everything on your account, if you're a big whale or a spender, or you've had a lot of good luck with a whole bunch of legendaries, then yeah, you might not use him. But that's Elminster, guys. Hope you enjoyed that review. Let me know your thoughts on him down below. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you all in a video soon.